here to pick my next book. So it is series again, and I will really quickly go over which ones I'm gonna read. If you haven't watched these videos before, I have a lot of book box books, mainly Fairy Loot and Owl Crate, really mainly Fairy Loot, and I have barely read any of them. I canceled it like over a year ago, but I need to either read them or get them off my shelves, or decide like, are they really gonna stay on my shelf for some reason? So like TBR. So I split it up between series and standalones, and I'm doing Try Chapter, about 5 books per one, and then I pick one to read. So far we have read, this is the third, I think it's the 4th video. This is the 3rd series one. I think I've only done 1 standalone. I think maybe I did 2. I don't remember. Either way, I've only completed 1 book. So that's good. The rest were DNFs. But last time I did this, I kept a couple, even though I didn't decide to, I obviously picked 1 to read, which is the one I finished, but I did keep a couple on my shelf. So I don't know. This one, I'm not sure about it. So, these are all YA fantasy, and these are all Fairy Loot or Owl Crate. So I have Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerri Maniscalco, Incendiary by Cordova. Zoraida. I'm unsure. I doubt it has a pronunciation thing. No. Bone Crier's Moon by Kathryn Purdie. I actually think I have 2 copies of this. Because I think it came in the Owl Crate and the Fairy Loot. I think it's just called City of Nightmares. City of Nightmares by Schaefer. And then Legendborn by Tracy, Deonn. So I think I'm going to read these in the order in which I think I am most likely, like least likely to most likely read them. I feel like I look like I have like a bonnet on. I don't know if I want to take this off yet, but my hair is pulling it down. But I feel like it's still very wet from my shower. Oh no, it's not too bad. Okay. So I think we'll do this is the order I will read the first chapters in. But the first one is Bone Crier's Moon by Kathryn Purdie. I remember this book getting a fair amount of hype, but I'm not sure I heard much about the rest of the series. So, but I think it's probably going to be a very traditional YA fantasy, especially of the early 2020s, and I'm not sure it's going to be for me. So yes, I think this is the Owl Crate edition, but I'm not sure. Yes, this is the Owl Crate, but I do think I have a Fairy Loot edition of this as well. Okay, so I shall read you the synopsis. This book is very tight. This is very hard to read because it's very shiny. Okay, am I just old? It's probably that too. Bone Criers have a sacred duty. They alone. Oh, is this the one where she has to like kill somebody that like is like the person she's supposed to love or something? Anyways, they alone can keep the dead from preying on the living, but their power to ferry the spirits of the dead into Goddess Alara's night heavens or Tyrus's underworld come from sacrifice. The gods demand a promise of dedication at the cost of the Bone Crier's one true love. Elise? That's what I'm going with. Has been prepared since birth to become a matriarch of the Bone Criers, but first she must complete her rite of passage and kill the boys she's also destined to love. Bastion's father was slain by a Bone Crier, and he's been seeking revenge ever since. But his vengeance comes too late. Elise's ritual has begun, and now their fates are entwined in life and in death. Sabine has never had the stomach for the Bone Crier's work, but when her best friend Elise is taken captive, Sabine will do whatever it takes to break the bond between Elise and Bastion before they all die. The first pulse-pounding novel in a new duology, it's a duology, from the New York Times bestselling author of Burning Glass, shines with doomed romance, macabre magic, and a betrayal with the power to shatter the boundary between the living and the dead. Okay, so there was like a little prologue-y thing, so I did read the first chapter. So the first chapter was Bastian's dad dying, and then, or the prologue, and then the first chapter was actually from Sabine's point of view, which was nice, although I feel like I may be too sympathetic for this book. I don't know, I'm a little more interested than I thought I would be. I don't think I'm going to pick this for the series. I mean, right now, obviously, I would pick it. And I do like the idea that it's a duology. I don't know. I might keep it. I might try to look for some reviews and stuff and see what people think. I don't know. So, we shall see. Okay, and the next book is Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerri Maniscalco, which I have read a Kerri Maniscalco book before, and I did not particularly enjoy it. So I do not have high hopes for this one. This is another fairy loot. It is very, like, I liked the sprayed edges and stuff. Skulls kind of freak me out, but it's fine. So is there anything cute on this book? Oh yeah, there's like a little, oh, I do like that a lot of the fairy loots are like this. They have this like kind of embossed kind of cover. And then this is the inside art for the dust jacket. So, is this the one that's about sisters? I think it is. Yep, 2 sisters, 1 murder. A quest for vengeance that will unleash hell itself. Amelia and her twin sister Vittoria have been inseparable all their lives. Astreg? Witches who exist secretly among humans. They know the dangers of drawing attention and work at their family's renowned Sicilian restaurant, avoiding notice and persecution. But one night, Vittoria doesn't come home, and it's not long before distraught Amelia discovers the body of her beloved twin, desecrated beyond belief. Devastated, Amelia vows to find her sister's killer and seek vengeance at any cost, even if it means calling upon a dark magic that has been long forbidden. Then Amelia meets Wrath, one of the wicked princes of hell she has been warned against since she was a child. Wrath claims to be on Amelia's side, tasked by his master with solving a series of murders on the island, of which Vittoria is the latest victim. But when it comes to the wicked, nothing is as it seems. Oh wait, this again had a prologue, and I honestly stopped after the prologue. It's fine. I'm sure there are tons of people that this works for, but like, I think it's just not for me. And I think in addition to me probably not just like enjoying the story, I do remember now with Stalking Jack the Ripper that occasionally it kind of creeped me out. And so I am a little worried this will creep me out. So definitely not going on the list, and I'm gonna just unhaul it, I think, because I think it's just not for me. And you know what? That's okay. Some books are not for everybody. I also need my tea. All right, tea obtained. I thought I heard some sort of hooliganism while I was reading earlier. I don't know where they are, so they're probably upstairs. Anyways, next is Incendiary, which I don't think I've heard anything about, so I don't know. Do I know? So it's an exclusive edition, but I don't. I'm gonna assume fairy loot. Oh, but it doesn't say fairy loot. Maybe it's Owl Crate. Oh, this is not a good sign, you guys. When the jacket art has 3 people on it like that, I start to assume that it's gonna be a love triangle, and that is a no. This is a very pretty book, though. This blue with the red. Anyways, Renata was only a child when she was kidnapped by the Crown. As a memory thief, the rarest and most feared of the magical Moria, she was used to carry out the king's wrath, a siege that resulted in the deaths of thousands of her own people. Now Renata is one of the Whispers, a rebel spy working against the Crown. When Des, her commander, and the boy she's grown to love is taken captive by the notorious Principe Dorado, Renata must return to the palace and complete his top-secret mission herself. Can she keep her cover even as she burns her vengeance against the brutal, enigmatic prince? Her life and the fate of the Moria depend on it. But returning to the palace stirs memories long locked away. As Renata grows more deeply embedded in the royal court, she uncovers a secret that could change the fate of the entire kingdom and end the war that has cost her everything. Okay, so again, it was a prologue and then a chapter 1, but I'm not gonna read it. Chapter 1. I don't know. It was interesting. It was kind of captivating. It was a little confusing. It was a lot to try to, you know, get my brain around. It does have like this kind of thing. I wonder if that's in there a lot or if that's just. Oh, well, looks like that's it. I kind of like when books have stuff like that and it's like before each chapter and it kind of like gives you a little spiel. Also, this book was very hard to hold for some reason. I feel like it's not substantially bigger and I felt like the like spacing was off, but then I like flipped through. I don't know. So, whatever. I'm leaning towards unhauling it, but I might look up some reviews and see maybe if I would be interested in. I do like a political fantasy, and so maybe it's because it's like revolutionary, maybe it would be a little politically, but I also feel like there's a real love triangle, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. And I've never heard of this author. I feel like this might be a debut for her. So, I don't know, I can't decide, you know? So, most likely an unhaul. I'll try to tell you at the end of the video if I remember to. We'll see. I kind of have like stacks over here of like what I plan to do with them, and now I have 3 stacks, so that's nice. Okay, next we have City of Nightmares by Rebecca Schaefer, which at first when I pulled this, I was like, look at this cute little like end papers or sprayed edges. I was like, I've never heard of this, which is generally true, but I feel like Elliot Brooks talked about this and did really like it. But I could be making that up. Oh, this was when I was being smart and I was keeping these little card things in here. So does it say if it's Fairy Loot or Owl Crate? No. But it does have like a printed cover, and then there's nothing on the like book jacket, but on the end pages it's kind of giving like noir vibes. So I don't know, this texture is very interesting. I feel like I'm not really like a person that has issues with texture, but I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel holding that. It's a naked book. Anyways, and it looks like it's on like the slightly shorter side. I will say that's one of my concerns with Bone Crier's Moon, even though it is shorter like height wise, and the font is pretty big. It's a chunky girl, you know? So I don't know. This is very heavy. This is gonna be another one that's hard for me to hold in my, am I a baby? Maybe that's really what we're talking about here. Okay, so this synopsis. Oh, it's dramatic. Okay, ever since her sister became a man-eating spider and slaughtered her way through town, 19-year-old Ness has been terrified of some other nightmare murdering her, and terrified of ending up like her sister. Because in Newham, the city that never sleeps, dreaming means waking up as your worst fear. Whether that means becoming a nightmare that's monstrous only in appearance, or transforming into a twisted, unrecognizable creature that terrorizes the city, no one is safe. Ness will do anything to avoid becoming another victim, even if that means lying low among the Friends of the Restful Soul, a questionable organization that may or may not be a cult. But being a member of this maybe cult has a price. In order to prove herself, Ness cons her way into what's supposed to be a simple job for the organization, only for it to blow up in her face. Literally. Tangled up in the aftermath of an explosive assassination, now Ness and the only other survivor, a nightmare boy who Ness suspects is planning to eat her, must find their way back to Newham and uncover the sinister truth behind the attack, even as the horrors of the past loom ominously near. Okay, so I read the first chapter. Okay, so I finished the first chapter, and I am maybe interested. I'm going to put this in the same categories as Incendiary, where I'm going to maybe look up some reviews, and I might keep it. Honestly, at this point, it's kind of compelling, but I feel like it might give me the heebie-jeebies, so I need to do some research on it. Also, it was kind of hard to read physically, so that was fun. But it's also nice that it's kind of like more of like an urban fantasy, so that's different. You don't see a lot of that, you know? So. Okay, and then the last book, and the book that I think is most likely to get picked, is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. This one I've heard a ton about. I was interested in it when I first got it, and I have continued to be interested in it. I think the third and final book comes out this year, but I could be wrong. There's the cover, and then this is the jacket art. After her mother dies in an accident, 16-year-old Bree Matthews wants nothing to do with her family members or childhood home. A residential program for bright high schoolers at UNC Chapel Hill seems like the perfect escape. Until Bree witnesses a magical attack her very first night on campus, a flying demon feeding on human energies, a secret society of so-called Legendborn students who hunt the creatures down, and a mysterious teenage mage who calls himself a Merlin and who attempts and fails to wipe Bree's memory of everything she saw. The mage's failure reveals Bree's own unique magic and a buried memory with a hidden connection. The night her mother died, another Merlin was at the hospital. Now that Bree knows that there's more to her mother's death than what's on the police report, she'll do whatever it takes to find out the truth, even if that means infiltrating the Legendborn as one of their initiates. She recruits Nick, a self-exiled Legendborn with his own grudge against the group, and their reluctant partnership pulls them deeper into the secret society and closer to each other. But when the Legendborn reveals themselves as the descendants of King Arthur's knights and explains that a magical war is coming, Bree has to decide how far she'll go for the truth and whether she should use her magic to take the society down or join the fight. Okay, so again, there was like a little prologue, and then chapter 1. The font in this book is tiny. As little baby. So this is definitely the book I'm going to pick. It is giving, I was going to say this after the synopsis, but I feel it definitely after having read that first part is giving the Mortal Instruments in the best possible way, you know? And it is a McElderry book, which I'm like 99% sure is who published the Mortal Instruments. So, but yes, like it's very much like girl seeing something she shouldn't, mysterious boy, like there's a fight, you know, that kind of thing. And that is in no way offensive to Miss Tracy Deonn, you know. There's only so many ways you can start a book. But yes, so it is going to be this one. So I will update you as I continue reading it. I'll give you some updates on how it's going. So yes, but first, I think I need a snack. Okay, should I be reading? Yes, I'm only like 50 pages in the Legendborn, so I don't really have much to say. But my mom gave me this box this weekend when I went over to her house. And it has all of these things that she's kept from, like, my life and everything. And so I thought I would show some of it because I feel like it's really cute. Like, look at this silhouette that my dad had done in Disney, and she kept it. Like, a lot of it is just, like achievement awards. More recital stuff. Like, a ton of pamphlets from, like programs from dance growing up and stuff, which is just, so I'm gonna take pictures of that I think and post it on Facebook for like daycare stuff. Oh my gosh, I think this is my first dance recital. Oh my gosh. Oh, so this is how it started. I found a card. So this one says Happy Mother's Day. You're super special on Mother's Day to my mom. And I wrote Hallmark Gold Crown. But I used to start doing like holly in the back. This is apparently a recipe for donuts. Oh, this is about me making the dean's list. And there's tons of stuff in here about me making the dean's list in school. Like a bunch of report cards from high school, college, elementary school. Report cards. Cards I made my mom. I wrote a letter to Bill Clinton complaining about the news and how, like, I thought that if the news would stop posting about negative things, maybe, and like talked about positive things, maybe people would do more positive things. And oh my gosh, there are so many pictures. Hold on, let me find you some there's like a bunch of like journals and like journals that I like clearly had to write in school. This was like my first year, and my mom did an amazing job. She only stopped in December, so bravo, because I feel like so many people, like at least what I hear from people that I know that have kids, that's not what happens. This is my baptismal certificate. I was just telling my dad about this. I was like, you know, in case I need that to get into heaven or something, good to have. Apparently Rochester had 2 papers when I was born, and my mom made my dad go get the papers every day because she was in labor for a couple of days. Sadly, there was a dramatic, horrible plane crash like right before I was born, so all the newspapers are a little downy, but that's fine. I don't know what she is to me, made like bibs. Did this even fit over my little baby head? I was a chunky baby. And this one says, I'm a bundle of Christmas joy. I can't open this. This is like an album of my senior pictures. Ooh, not great in my opinion. Oh, so here, I'll show you some baby pictures, because why not? It was like when I was cute. So look at this baby picture with baby. That was baby. She was like the love of my life. And I rubbed that satin tag like nobody's business. Oh my gosh. Loved it. That picture is me older. We're not looking at that one. That one's awful. Not pictures of other people who don't need to have their pictures shown on the internet. Look at this one. Look at how cute I am. Adorable. Look at that. Look at that. And look at the hair. Look at it. I feel like my mom used to have this hanging up. This is it says September 89, so I was not quite a year old. Oh my gosh. There's some of me and my mom. I'm not going to show you my mom. So, but she's very pretty. And then this one, I do not look, I feel like I look like I have a Precious Moment style haircut. And then I don't know why, but I love this picture of me. I look so happy. I remember this dress. I think this dress gave me life, you know? But like, look at how cute and happy I am. I feel like I look like my mom a lot in that picture. I look a lot like my dad. So it's kind of nice to see there's so many more in here. This was like, probably like 3rd or 4th grade. I was in my uniform and stuff. Some of the stuff is like, these were like cassette tapes I used to listen to all the time as a kid. And I had these like pop-up books, A Very Good Dinosaur and Crocodile that I really liked. This is like making me emotional. Oh my gosh. And these like We Sing books and tapes and stuff. Oh my gosh, I don't know why, but the idea of the tapes just really makes me emotional. It was a huge part of my life. I listened to them every night. Wow, oh my god. A tooth. Yeah, this has nothing on it. This me. I think this was in the hospital, my mom said. I believe she said my grandma made this. Her mom, not my great grandma. And then my grandma made this. My mom said she thinks she started making it when my uncle was born and finished it up with me. Another bib, and then like some like cards and stuff to my mom and like saying nice things about her and everything. Oh, my puzzle's coming apart. And then I was certain she had it, and I was right. In the box was my Christmas stocking, which my mom like cross-stitched for me. So we will have this. I have to find the Hooligans stockings that I bought for them, and I want to get them embroidered at some point. So we can have our stockings hanging next year. But yeah, I just thought, I don't know. Did like your parents, does anyone else's parents have this stuff? It's like such a random collection. My dad's like, well, just decide what you want to keep and then store it. I was like, I feel like I want to keep it all. Like, even the, like, the report cards and stuff, like, some of them are so funny. But it's like, you know, it's like a part of your life and everything. So, I don't know. It's just crazy. I don't know. Do you ever, I think about sometimes, because, like, I grew up, like, flipping through, like, photo albums and stuff, and, like, kids now don't have that, generally speaking, and I've talked about that with some people who have kids, and they've said that, like, they want to get pictures printed, and I know you can do that through, like, online services. You can literally just, like, upload, like, a year's worth of pictures, and they'll just, like, print them for you and everything, and I think that's awesome, because I think there's something about, like, holding on to all of this, like, physical media that, like, does mean something. So, especially now, like, as I'm filming this, sorry, there's a bunch of plastic bags stuff was wrapped up in, that, like, Kindle has, like, made their announcement or whatever. Like, I think owning physical media is so important for a variety of reasons, and, like, that's kind of how I feel about this. And, like, I have so much stuff on my phone that, like, if I lost my phone and it wasn't backed up, like, or, like, what if things fell apart, like, that'd be devastating. So, yeah, I don't know. I just took a picture of myself instead of a video. If you can see the mess behind me, no, you can't. I need to do dishes, because I didn't do dishes at all this week, until Friday, which is yesterday, Saturday, and so I have to do, like, 2 loads of dishes, but I want to update you on my book. Sorry, I'm trying to get rid of my hiccups. Didn't work. Never failed me before, but we'll see. But I went to update you, and I didn't want my dishwasher ready while I was doing that. Oh, I thought I set my oven to preheat, but apparently I did not. I think the recipe said 400. It takes forever to preheat, so I'll have time to adjust it down if I need to. I am making bagels. I mean, they're bagels, I guess. They're like 2-ingredient. You just make them with yogurt and flour. I made some last weekend, and they were okay. I think I'm going to make them smaller, which means less protein, but I feel like they might bake better. I think I might actually measure out separating them in 2. So, and I'm going to, hopefully this bowl is big enough, because I didn't want to use my really big bowl, and this medium-sized bowl is in the dishwasher. Sure. Which technically I could get it out, but, you know. Anyways. Okay. I'm not sure how long this yogurt is going to last me, so hopefully this is basically enough, because I do not like plain yogurt, like unflavored plain yogurt, so I'm not gonna eat it, you know. Okay, it said 280 grams of yogurt. Okay, I thought this might be easier than trying to put it in a measuring cup and doing it that way. I have like one good spatula. Is it in the dishwasher? Of course it is. It's tiny, but it's like the only one that is the right level of flexible. Okay. Oh, I wish I was better at math, because then I would just try to make more of this. Because I feel like there's so much water in here. Oh, maybe that'll be close to 280. We're at 240 right now. That's gonna be over 280. Should I take it out? How particular do you think this is? Like, really? I mean, it's baking, but is it baking, like, really? Sorry. Okay. It's 290. We're gonna call it good enough. Okay, I mean, I will update you on my book. I just need to, like, measure. Okay, so I feel like there wasn't enough salt last time. But I am a salty girl. Okay, so that's 1 teaspoon. So, like, let's throw some extra in there, you know, for giggles. And then, because I have regular flour, we need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Sir, do not get in that cabinet. No, get down. Get down. Living with a toddler. So yes, you need the baking powder. Like they say to make it, so technically they're 2 ingredient bagels because you make them with bread flour, which has leavening agents in it already, and yogurt, but because I don't have bread flour, it's like a 3 ingredient bagel. Obviously, oh, well, Oscar, hope you learned your lesson. He will not have, by the way. Okay, and then 300 grams of flour. I didn't have a flour container, so it is currently just in a plastic bag because we are in a low budget lifestyle right now. And that means not buying things you don't need. I have like a little bit of parchment paper down for like the kneading and stuff, so I'm gonna just put some flour down there. Normally I would use my hands, but not right now. Okay, let's see how this mixes, and if it's way too, like, it's supposed to be a little crummy, but if it's super crummy, then I obviously messed up the yogurt portion. I don't think I did. I think I did do 280. We'll see. Anyways, Legendborn. I am like 30% of the way through, and I'm very torn about this right now. So, paper is riding up. So, like, I am enjoying it a little bit. I feel like it is a little dry, but not like I totally screwed it up dry, just like a little. I don't know if this is okay or not. This is why, oh, I already put that. This is why I am not a cook. But I feel like I've seen so many different recipes for this that have different measurements that I think it's okay. Okay, I'm gonna save that spoon just in case I need it. So yes, I'm feeling like I don't want to read it. So like, I was trying to think about how to like talk about this. So it's not like a DNF situation. So if this wasn't for this video, I probably would DNF right now. Like do a pause. Like, because honestly, I think I am in just a very big, I need to switch to my hands. I'm gonna still leave it in here though for a little bit. I'm in a very like a romance mood. I feel like I'm in a very specific romance mood, but I don't know what that is. Like every time I think about like picking up a book, I'm like, I don't know. Is that, now my hands are all dirty, so I feel like I'm gonna have to make this work because like I don't think I can add more yogurt at this point, like without destroying myself. Okay, we'll see. Anyways, so yeah, like I can't figure out what I am in the mood for. I do kind of, I think, want to read Comeback by Rebecca Genshak. Oscar, no, get away. Which is her newest release. But then at the same time, I feel like I want something angsty. I don't know. So yes, I like when I am reading it, I'm enjoying myself. like for the most part. I have one minor complaint. But like getting myself to read it is very hard. So let's briefly discuss my one minor complaint. And that is that I am so fucking confused about what is going on in this book, okay? So we're almost 200 pages in, and I feel like I need more yogurt, and I'm gonna just have to risk it for the biscuit. And I just like don't fully understand, like comprehend what is going on in this book. Like, what in the world? Like, I was thinking about this earlier today. I just updated my Goodreads, and I literally said, I need an info dump. And I really don't want to touch this with my hands, but I feel like that's what I need. Like, I know that that's like poor form or whatever, but like I feel like I need it because I understand that Bree is confused about things, but I feel like Bree kind of understands more than I do. And like, am I just stupid, or is this not being explained well? Now, I will say, I find that historically, whenever I read anything that is set around like the King Arthur myth, I am confused. Like, I don't know if it's the type of story and like they're all just confusing, if it's like the Welsh names and stuff and that confuses me. Like, I don't consider myself like ignorant to like the whole like myth and storyline. Like, I watched, there was like this Merlin miniseries on NBC when I was a kid, and then there was like a reboot on like a follow-up on the Sci-Fi Channel. I think it was Sam Neill. I feel like he's really famous for being in Jurassic Park, but I'm not a Jurassic Park girly. And so like, so I know that I watched the like Merlin TV show for the most part and everything. Like, I don't feel like I don't know the basics, but whenever I read stuff like this, I have no idea what's going on. So I'm just like very confused about like all the language that they're using, but like she seems to understand what's going on. And like, I get it. She's a smart cookie. Okay. But like, I don't think I'm that dumb. So I don't know. So yes, I could really use some assistance here. But I don't know. We'll see. I am enjoying it. I can't remember if I said this in the first chapter thing, but it is very much like Shadowhunters. And now it's getting like a little bit better, but especially at the very beginning, I was like, ooh, this is so much. And not in like a copying way. Like, I don't think she's like, oh my God, I think that this story type is just so common and popular. And like the Mortal Instruments just was such a big deal. And, all of this, like, it is, do you think my scale's gonna work? I did the best I could. We're gonna measure it. It's 610 grams. What if we try to do like 6 bagels instead of 4? So like 100-ish grams each. I feel like they were just like a smidge too big for me last time. Okay. So, and I'll try to like pick up some of the remnants that are, oh, sorry, that's a cabinet. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, Shadowhunters was just so prominent, and like, obviously well, maybe not obviously, I don't know what you know about me. I have read it several times. Like, I've read The Mortal Instruments several times. Like, so I think it's just hard to escape that as like a prototype almost. And so, you know, there's that. I also do think we're going to go into a love triangle situation, and I generally don't like that, although I feel like at this point where we are with these characters, what if I didn't put holes in them and I just like made them flat little patties? Would that be weird? Like, I feel like they'll still cook the same, right? And then like they'll be more even. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't have eggs. People say do egg wash. I don't have that. So, because I don't eat eggs. So yes, I'm not a huge fan of love triangles, but especially if one of the characters, because I think I know who it's going to be. So if you've read these books or whatever, I'm assuming that there will be a love triangle between Bree and Sel and Nick. And I am moderately okay with that. I feel like I need to get to know Sel more before I like make my real decisions about him. But he definitely has that like brooding, mean Jace vibes. And right now Nick is just like a really nice guy and I really like him. So I am only worried that the book will turn into like Nick somehow is like an asshole, and I just really hope that that's not the case. So like that would make me sad, but other than that, like I'm kind of okay with the love triangle idea. Like in theory, when it comes to this book. I don't know, I've been talking for so long. I'm so sorry. But I think, but like I am enjoying it as I'm reading it and everything. But yeah, this popped in my head earlier and then I completely forgot. So why do all of these characters have to have like 50 million names? By which I mostly mean they have like weird ass nicknames. Like there's one girl that works with I'm gonna call them the Order. I don't remember what they're actually called. And her name is Sarah, and she says people call me Sar, and I'm like, who the fuck says shortens Sarah? Okay, I mean I'm sure there's somebody out there, but like it's just so weird. And everybody's nickname is like that, like Sal, Sar, Victoria is Tor. Like it's just, it feels very weird. And then like have your nickname, okay? Then can that just be your name? I hate when people have like 5 different names in a book. And then especially like a book like this where I feel like there's so many characters and I'm not sure, like, am I supposed to remember all of them? And like, are they all important? Do I need to keep track of all of them? Because if so, like, I need them to only have one name. Because otherwise, this is not happening. Like, I cannot do this. So, like, I do not know. Okay, I am still struggling. I have not read since my last update. That's not true. I'm pretty sure I've read like 30 pages. But if you hear anything, it is Franny. I'm unsure what she's playing with, but she's playing with something. Yes, she's been in like a playing mood lately, which is very unusual for her. And she's like, Yeti is like dead to her right now and has been for over a week. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so I've read like 30 pages and I am still so torn about this book. Like, I don't necessarily hate it when I'm reading it or anything. Like, I feel like it's like a 4-star book, but I don't want to read it. And part of me is like, I keep debating in my head, like, am I just in a slump? Do I not want to read? Except there's other books I want to read. And I think part of it, I may have said this before. If so, sorry, I might edit and try to do that because these videos get long. I think I'm just in like a romance mood. Like, I just want romance. And so I don't know. The problem with that is that like I have so many of these books to read, and so like, is this whole thing gonna turn into me just like not enjoying any of them? So I don't know. So I am about to read. I do this thing where I'd like do so many tasks that I have to get done, and then I like read. In the past, this was like a bribe to myself to get stuff done, but lately it's been more like a punishment when I go to read. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm supposed to have like an hour of reading time right now. It's also funny because today the video that got published was my video talking about the pressure to read, and here I am kind of pressuring myself to read. But I don't know. So I think what I've decided is that I am going to give myself this hour to read, and I'm going to read this book. And if at the end of that hour I am still feeling the way I feel right now, I'm going to DNF it. Now, I will put the book on my red shelf. I don't plan on unhauling it. and maybe at some point I will read it. Like, I'll feel the need to, and like the draw. This is the hardest one out of all of these that I've done, where I have like DNF'd. But yes, so this hour is what this book has to suck me in. Now I'm about halfway in right now, so I feel like something could happen, but probably not. I don't know. So yes, but I'm gonna go read, listen to some music while I do that. Okay, I just filmed videos and I meant to do an update on this because I did my reading and I didn't. So now that I didn't want to forget, like, when I walked downstairs. But I've decided to DNF Legendborn. I was at 52%. I just, like, it wasn't working for me. So unfortunately we are parting ways at this time. But maybe I will return to her at some point. So yes, I'm gonna keep it on my shelf and everything. What is that? Like, where is it coming from? Anyways, so yes, I'm going to stop and I'm gonna move on to romances, and hopefully that will go better for me. We'll see. Do you want to see Oscar as attacks? Oh, it's Oscar. Did you eat a piece of cheese? That was not for kitties. I'd pick up for Annie, but she doesn't like it as much. I mean, he doesn't love it all the time either. But we're working on it with her. I just want her to be able to trust me to pick her up, like if I need to put her in a carrier or anything. So my lunch or my dinner will be done in like a minute and a half. I am starving, but yeah, I'm really sad about this one. This one is probably the hardest to feel. So, but it is what it is. I can't win them all, you know? So, yep. Thank you for joining me on this journey. But if you read Legendborn, I hope you really enjoyed it, and congratulations, the third and final book is coming out this year, I believe. So you will get that soon. So, bye.